everybody. Rabbi Bill Hamilton here.
Hi, Rabbi Hamilton. It's great to be back with you this week for Parsha Ponderings.
Great to be with you, Rabbi Bonnie Cohen.
Hi, rabbis. David Starr here.
Great to have you back and to be with you, Rabbi Starr, as well. So this Shabbat, we read from the portion Shoftim, and it always comes right as we enter the month of Elul, when the spirit of returning and Shuvah is primary. What's fascinating is we come to a verse related to the injunctions about the king, that kind of leadership in the portion, where we read, you should not return, lo yashuv, b'derech hazeh od, that you should not return to Egypt anymore. That is, the king shouldn't acquire horses and alliances and return. And I always find it fascinating that in order to be able to return, that is personally in our spiritual lives, we can't go back to Egypt where we actually lack the freedom to be able to return.
Because I do think that this season, while it's obviously about returning, it's about tshuva. Perhaps this Parsha is here to remind us that it's not necessarily about returning just to wherever we came from, but actually returning spiritually to, I like to think of it, to the godliness within us. And those are actually the most free parts of ourselves. And that to really return there means to get in touch with that freedom, which if we returned to Egypt, for example, like you said, that's returning to our enslavement. That's returning to a limitation of that divine within us.
It's interesting the way the texts are playing with the word lashuv, obviously. Sometimes we really want to believe that we have this beautiful self, and maybe it's gotten a little bit mucked up. And so we have this very powerful idea that, we'd like to clean away the muck and return to our best selves. But then on the other hand, we have these ideas that says, no, life is about going forward. And it's really about growing oneself and developing and adding layers. And of course, those are two very different ways of thinking about maybe what the penitential season is. It is both some notion of return, but it's also some notion of going forward.
Absolutely. Rather than circling back to the same starting point, it's a spiraling forward, kind of ever going back, but also continuing to go in a forward trajectory.
And I also love the notion that we're coming 5 months ago specifically now from Passover, and we're making our way forward on a personal level. The collective freedom is what gave us the wherewithal, our people, and indeed every people throughout history that's embraced this narrative, liberation of potential, that the notion that tomorrow can be better than yesterday. We then take that personally now for the next 40 days leading up to Yom Kippur, and we aren't looking back. We're looking forward to a new year, please God, of renewal, spiritual renewal, health, sweetness, and taking lessons from this very, very challenging year forward in ways that allow us to be better versions of ourselves.
Wishing everyone a Chodesh Tov and a Shabbat Shalom. May this month bring us into the new year in a way that both circles back and moves us forward.
Yeah. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Tov.